because it looked like it was going to be a really special night and end up losing the game. It just, that stinks.
Now, they also make a move. Vientos came up and, hit that game-winning home run. But he got sent down when Marte came off the bereavement list. And what Vientos has to do, Don, he has to go down to AAA and show he could play third base. And if he can play third base, he might get a shot because Beatty is starting to cool off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when a young guy cools off, they don't give him as much leash as like when Aaron Judge is not hitting well, because there's equity there. So if Beatty starts to cool down and Vientos shows that he could pick it at third base, then he might get the call up and they send Beatty down, because it's a situation where the Mets are looking to the future. Who's going to be the guy for the future for them? Is it Beatty? Is it Vientos? Vientos has never shown that he's a good defender, but he did get sent down after hitting that big home run, and that's just a roster maneuverability, because he's hit down there, Don. But can he play third base? That's going to be his ticket to the big leagues.
And that's the door, because after the hot start, Beatty's now 4 for his last 26. He's still batting .277, but that was after an incredibly hot start. So that's probably the best avenue for him. And I think Vientos has a future here, Michael. He's got a little pop. Had the walk-off the other night, but, he was not really given that much of a chance this year. I thought that if they didn't sign Martinez, that he was going to get the shot to be on the big club, but they sent him down before they even signed Martinez.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem like they were really happy with him. So he's kind of landlocked now, unless he can take the third base job away from Beatty. Now, we'll see. It's only been 15 games with just 4 hits for Beatty, but it hasn't been the start that I think they were hoping for overall in his career. It was hot to begin the season, and we'll see if that ends up being his avenue back to the big leagues. But I agree with you. That's probably it.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Steve in Secaucus. Steve.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Thanks for taking me on.
You got it.
What's up?
I got a question. Okay, you got a football field that's 100 yards long, a basketball court that's 94, 10-foot high baskets. Why are baseball fields different lengths? Why? Because home runs, to me, mean nothing. If I'm hitting a home run at 280 feet, and player B is hitting home runs at 320 feet. This guy's got 10 home runs. The other guy's got 50. What sense does that make?
Well, I mean, every team is going to play 81 home games and 81 games on the road. So the dimensions are the same for the two teams that are playing that day. The reason that baseball fields are different size, and I think it's charming, and I think it's a nice part of the sport, is because when they built stadiums in the old days, they had to fit it into a city block.
Mm-hmm.
And so, sometimes it was short and left field. At Fenway, it was short. Fenway was short and left. Yankee Stadium, one of the reasons they made it short and right was for Babe Ruth, the house that Ruth built. But a lot of the ballparks were fit into city blocks, and that's why they couldn't have the same dimensions. And if you ask me, I was commissioner for a day, I would not make it the same dimensions, Don.
Well, they felt because the one thing they could do is keep the infield the same.
Right.
So that becomes their basketball court, that becomes their hockey rink, that becomes their football field. And for all the reasons you said, the outfield was different. Now, it doesn't have to be that way anymore, but how are you going to make Fenway change? They can't. They're stuck. So if you can't change Fenway, you can't change Wrigley, then why would you change anybody? And as you said, it's kind of become the charm of it, but that's the reason. But unless you made Fenway Park move to the suburbs, Michael, how can they have the same dimensions as Comerica Park or whatever they call it now? Because there's a building there. they can't. What, are they going to blow up a building? Same thing with Wrigley Field. You're in the neighborhood. So,
now, Don, the hockey rinks used to be different sizes, right?
Well, the only two that were different was Chicago Stadium and Boston Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And because, again, the same thing. They just, the way they made the neutral
basketball
zone,
arenas first.
Yeah, the neutral zone was what was smaller. So both ends were the same as far as the team's offensive zones, but the neutral zone was a little bit smaller. But once they opened up the new buildings in Chicago and Boston, they all went back to the regular dimensions. But it was the same kind of thing. Like there was only so much room you could do. These were inner city buildings. So you did the best that you could at that particular time, but you don't want to. There was a different way to play at the Boston Garden, by the way they built their team because of the smaller neutral zone. But that's the new building's been open for 25 years now, so that's over. But I like the charm of baseball being a little bit different.
So do I.
You'd have something to complain about if it wasn't, if it wasn't all 60 feet 6 inches, or 90 feet with the bases. That would be compromised. But I think it's charming.
Now, a lot of people could say, okay, the right field at Yankee Stadium yields too many cheap home runs, but it also yields it for the other team, and it hurts Yankee pitchers. So you get some and you give some. That's the way it works. It's not like they moved the fences back when Garrett Cole's on the mound.
Well, I remember you complaining about, and I guess you had a point, about when they originally opened Citi Field because it was just monstrous.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it was unfair. And I understood your hitters, but it was the Mets were always built around pitching, but that was obnoxious how big that building was. And then they brought him in. They brought him in Detroit, too. That was also unfair.
Oh, it was ridiculous how deep it was.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Especially, you want runs to be scored. For the good of the sport, you want offense. And Detroit was cavernous. It actually made Citi Field look cozy. But now they've moved in the left field wall, and they have the Great Wall of, the Great Wall of, what does Howie call it? Shea?
The Great
Queens?
Wall of Flushing.
Flushing. And that's not the home run wall anymore.
Yeah, but you want to know a joke, Michael, and it's a great moment in New York sports history. But, the Polo Grounds, that was a joke. The Robbie Thompson home run was a joke. Now, don't take it away from him. The Dodgers had the same thing that they could have taken advantage of, but that wouldn't play today, Michael.
And the great catch that will go down forever, Willie Mays on Vic Wertz, it should have been out by 20 feet. He wouldn't have been able to catch the ball. But it was it was up 480 feet to center field at the Polo Grounds.
They literally, that's why they call it the Polo Grounds. It was a polo field, but basically it was a football field you played on. So, Michael, left field was a joke.
Yeah.
What was it actually? What was it, 255? Something ridiculous.
Well, I mean, the L.A. Coliseum was ridiculous, too, before the Dodgers built Dodger Stadium. I mean, there's a history of it in the game. It's just, it happens. Let's go to Elvis in Connecticut. Elvis.
Hey, Michael. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Michael, Don, Peter. I know Peter's not there, but yo, guys. Born and raised in the Bronx, big Yankee fan, big fan of your guys. Talk about dream team. Your guys are the dream team. For real, my first time that I could get through your guys, and I'm excited. And I was going to talk about a lot of things about baseball, but I'm just excited to be with your guys. One thing I got to say, Michael, what you think about, they said Soto, when he first got to the Yankees, they know when to call, who to call, if that has a progress. And what you think about Judge, because I still believe he's still injured because of the oblique where he suffered in spring training, but he's going to hit. The only thing that I'm concerned about is Torres. And for real, guys, I'm a big fan of your guys. You ever be in Connecticut, stop by the Sloppy Waffle. You got free waffles.
That sounds fun, Sloppy Waffle.
I'm a big waffle guy.
Listen, are you a big waffle guy or not?
Yes.
You are.
Big
I'm not.
waffle guy.
The kids are.
What's the matter with a waffle? It holds
Nothing. I'd rather have a pancake.
Well, pancakes are delightful as well, but the waffle.
You give me a choice, I'm taking a pancake. I don't like the ridges.
But the ridges are what makes it work. It holds the syrup.
I don't like syrup. I don't like to put syrup on.
Wait a minute.
I put butter on it.
I like both, but you don't like syrup?
No, no. It's not that I don't like the taste of syrup. I do. I don't like it. I just don't put it on my pancake. I put butter on.
Oh, my dear God.
Melted butter.
Well, do you know what you're missing?
No, I know what I'm missing. Probably about 500 calories.
Oh, we'll see. That's a different argument.
We didn't even answer Elvis's questions. Listen.
I'm good.
Aaron Judge says he's healthy. Okay, that's it. He's healthy. Unless he says he's hurt, well, what can we do? We can't force it out of him. Says he's healthy.
You give him an exam every day? I mean, I think something's going on there. Maybe if you're a fan, you hope. But he didn't all of a sudden lose it. Something's going on.
Well, I mean, he got it back for Saturday and Sunday in Milwaukee. We'll see. Gleyber Torres, I think he's putting pressure on himself. He's a free agent, wants to stay with the Yankees. And now that he doesn't have a home run, it's been 51 games, by the way. That's a third of the season, essentially.
That's a lot.
51 games dating back to last year. Last home run he hit was off of Eduardo Rodriguez of the Tigers. I think it was September 7th or 9th. And as for Soto, Brian Cashman said there's been no contact with Scott Boras about that. Boras is not going to do a contract for Soto right now. It'd be crazy. It would be crazy. Let's go to Rich in Cocoa Beach, which sounds delicious.
It does.
Yeah, hey guys. Thanks for putting me on. I just want to talk about the Met in the Wild situation.
All right, who do you have?
Sandy Koufax.
Ooh, really? Where'd you meet him?
On a flight from Newark from Orlando to Newark. I sat with him actually for 2 hours.
Was he nice?
Oh, it was awesome. Let me just say the whole circumstance quick.
Okay.
I see him coming down the aisle, and even though it's Snow White hair, I said, "Oh my God, it's Sandy Koufax." He stops right by my seat around 25, we'll say, and I said, "Sandy Koufax?" He says, "Yes." I shook his hands like I was super excited. I said, "What a thrill!" He says, "Thank you." He sat across from me between two rather robust women, and I could see he was cramped. I sat on the aisle seat. Next to me, the window was open. I said, "Sandy, maybe you'd like to sit over here." He says, "Great." He went over there, and we sat there, and I can't say we talked for 2 hours, but we did talk baseball, but we talked about a whole bunch of other things. He was terrific.
He doesn't do a lot. Like, he's kind of a white whale, isn't he, Michael? Like, he doesn't do very much.
He shows up for Dodger stuff.
Yeah, and I know he did that.
I will tell you what, Don, because I've been so lucky in this business to meet everybody. If I met him, I'd be tongue-tied.
But that just shows you something. You've been around baseball for a long time, never met him. He doesn't do a lot of interviews. I know he did that cameo in Entourage.
Right.
But you don't see him much at all. So that's a really good one. Peter probably wouldn't have appreciated it, but
probably wouldn't know who he is.
Oh, that's strong.
Now,
I watched Entourage, you saw.
That's true. One thing I asked Outlighter. One favor. Because, I don't collect autographs because I don't want to put myself in that position of getting turned down.
Right.
And I don't think it's right for somebody in my position to do it. There are exceptions. But I pleaded with Al to please get me a Sandy Koufax ball. Because Al and Sandy are really close.
Okay.
Because Sandy and Fred Wilpon are really close. Al never came true. Never came through, ever.
Did he tell you he would?
He said, yeah, I'll do it. Never got.
Al's a man of his word, though. Maybe just never got a chance to
really? A lot of people had a sighting in the wild yesterday, Don, because Bill Murray took the 7 train last night after the Mets-Cubs game.
How about that?
So everybody that was on that train, they had a great situation in the wild. Let's go to Doug in Staten Island. Dougie.
Mike, my man.
What's up?
So listen, back in 2002, you're going to remember this. Me and my boys went out for lunch. I'm smoking a cigarette right after lunch in front of 650 Fifth Avenue, and we were talking about you moving from the radio booth to the TV booth. And who walks out of the building but you? Remember that?
This was 2 years ago?
No, in 2002.
Okay. Vaguely.
And I turn around, and it's like you appeared literally 10 minutes after we were speaking about
I think I do remember
this.
this.
Speak of the devil. And I go, "Speak of the devil." And you go, "Oh, what were you talking about? Anything good?" And I told you, how we were speaking about the move, and you go, "So what do you guys think?" And we gave you a good review. You were all right. But you were the nicest guy, and you were so genuine. Like, we were actually trying to get in touch with your mother to tell her what a gentleman you were.
Oh.
True story.
Well, that was not. I mean, you would have had to pray because she wasn't alive in 2002. But
no.
Well, wait a minute. She was.
She was.
I'm sorry. Yes, she was. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, because you know why I remember this? Because if you remember the first year of Yes, Don, it was not on Cablevision.
Right.
And my mom lived she lived in Scarsdale at the time, and the carrier was Cablevision. And she was not able to watch me. And did she rip me? You made a stupid mistake.
Oh.
You were on the radio all the time. You're not even on TV anymore. Mom, I am on TV. You're not on my TV. I can't believe you did this. You had a good job. You should have stayed there.
See, she was thinking, what kind of joke of a place that you join that
Right.
I can't watch it on television, because that's how my mom would be. Like,
Yep.
what an awful decision you made. What kind of ragamuffin organization did you join? Fly-by-night organization that they're not on my TV. Because you can't explain to them the whole, the contracts and all that. All she knows, she had you on every game on the radio. And now you're gone.
And not only did she have me on every game, but she would see me post-game on MSG. So she could see me on TV, and all of a sudden I was gone for a year.
And I'm saying this to support you, Michael. I'm not ripping my mom. But, like, if the Yankees had an afternoon game, I'll get a call. Why aren't you on? It's like, the Yes Network doesn't exist for the Michael K. show. It exists for the Yankee games. But that's just how Mom thinks, right? Like, what's going on? Why aren't you on?
Oh, she was red hot. My mom was just so upset. And every time, every day we spoke, smart move taking that Yes job. Now what's going to happen when it goes out of business? What's going to happen then?
Right.
I don't know, Mom. I don't know what's going to happen. Stupid. How could you have done that? I was in pain back then, Don, and if I'm in pain, what should I do?
Well,
people said I was crazy to do this. Just a surf coach who wanted to shake up the sunglass industry. I wanted something different, radical, and fun. I didn't want to blend in, so I created Blenders. Born on the beach in San Diego, now rocked with pride worldwide. We're bright, we're bold, at a price that everyone can afford. Don't blend in. Welcome to your new favorite shades.
And everyone you care for. It takes MSK.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
New season, new reasons to say yes. Wow. Yes to the ultimate viewing experience.
Aaron Judge crushes one.
Yes to in-game live stats. And earn rewards and win prizes. Get all the Yankees action on the Yes app. Download now.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. Innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions. Telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Yes Network is now streaming on Fubo. Watch the Yankees and more of your New York teams. Streaming live on all your devices. Plus, over 350 top channels. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
The final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Rogers, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic.
Is that curling? No.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
1 in 3 pet parents has used their pet's name as their password.
System hacked. System hacked. System hacked.
But delicious Caesar canine cuisine is a better way to show your love.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay and how fast you can get started.
For years, one company has battled to deliver business products the next day with no freight charges. Now, WB Mason, with their famous fleet of trucks and drivers, faces their biggest challenge, rescuing shipping and packaging buyers from expensive freight charges. That's right. Now, boxes, stretch film, and packaging tape are delivered the very next day at amazingly low prices. So, who do you call for fast delivery and no expensive freight charges? Who but WB Mason?
In an election year, our social media feeds can fill up with sensational claims and unfamiliar sources. And in the age of artificial intelligence, it's not hard to make a fake video look like the real deal. With so many tools, tactics, and motivations for spreading false content, we need to be on the lookout for bad actors looking to sway our votes. If you see a damaging post, image, or story about a candidate or issue, make sure to verify whether it's real or not before you share it. Falsehoods spread much faster than facts. Be informed, not misled.
When disaster strikes, no matter where and when, cash is best. Those in crisis are able to decide where that money goes. It's easily exchanged and received across borders, and nobody knows the needs of a community in crisis better than the people within it. With cash, help goes exactly where it's needed, when it's needed. Ultimately, cash creates choice. And when it comes to what we should send to communities in need, our choice is simple.
Sarah, you've got this, okay? But they lost.
Not really. Not where it counts.
We have the Knicks and the Sixers. Knicks could put the Sixers to bed tonight at Madison Square Garden. And tune into MSG Networks for Game 5 tonight, starting at 6:30 with Wally, Alan Hahn, and Bill Pito. And stay for Mike Green and Walt Clyde Frazier's game call. MSG Networks has Game 5 tonight. So don't miss your favorite announcers and the local coverage starting at 6:30 p.m. tonight. And Wally Zerbiak, nice enough to join us now. Give us a little preview of what should be a dynamic night at the Garden. Wally, how you doing? Michael and Don.
Great to hear from you guys. I am excited. I'm heading in right now on the LIE. The Garden has been rocking the first 2 games. Boy, it was the place to be. The fans are outstanding. The celebrities were all out. It's going to be a tough game tonight. Knicks are going to need the fan support like they had in that game, too, especially to come back down 5 with under 30 seconds to go. That was one of the biggest shots in franchise history that Dante DiVincenzo hit. They went and got 1 out of 2 down there in Philly, and tonight I anticipate Philly playing for their lives. You know what it's like when a team has their backs against the wall. They don't want to go home, so the Knicks are going to have to play well to finish them off.
Now, I always hate the phrase wanted it more. But there's got to be something that explains why the Knicks win every loose ball, why they're grabbing every rebound. Is it just the way the Knicks are built, or are they taking advantage of something that maybe Philadelphia just doesn't have?
Well, when you're a little banged up like Philly is, especially Joel Embiid. By the way, it was a lot of fun calling the game with you on the radio, Don. That was a bucket list moment for me, and that was a great time.
Right back at you, man. That was a ball. You were very nice. You made it so much easier. You're great at what you do, buddy.
You too. I appreciate that. But a guy like Joel Embiid, he only has 2 rebounds in the fourth quarter the whole entire series, so he's very hampered. Listen, other guys, Josh Hart seems to do that to everyone in the league. He comes out of there with every single loose ball. Precious.
Oh, no.
Leading offensive rebounder in the NBA, or one of the top 5 at least. especially when he's healthy. So that's how the Knicks kind of built this roster. They built this roster with competitive guys. That's the most important thing. You got to be willing to compete. You got to be willing to play physical. You have to be willing to work. And listen, it says something about the Philadelphia 76ers. The numbers don't lie. The Knicks are killing the Sixers on the boards. They got every rebound in the fourth quarter. Even though their offense wasn't clicking, they got extra possessions, were able to just milk the clock with all their offensive rebounding prowess. So from the outside, I have to quite agree with you that it looks like the Knicks want it more, but that's what they pretty much do on a nightly basis to every other team.
Now, Wally, you said that, Embiid is physically compromised, but still, he was able to get 50 points. So what is a manifestation of compromise for him? Is that he's not getting rebounds?
Yes, that's a big thing. And also defensively, he's not the same presence blocking shots. He only has one dunk since he returned from that knee surgery with like 10 games left in the regular season. And that's very unlike him. That just shows he doesn't trust that knee. He doesn't have the power and strength to hold his spot and hold his balance. And the Knicks are a physical team. So the Knicks are banging him around. They're pushing him around. When he gets under the basket, he has trouble finishing. He's much more comfortable playing face-up, it seems like to me, shooting threes and not, going in the post and having a big guy leaning on him and banging on him. And I think one of the reasons why is because of that surgery. I mean, I'm not saying I've had the same surgery, but I've had knee surgeries similar, meniscus surgeries. It's no fun, especially when you have played 35, 40 minutes, then you got to rest a day and play again. That knee's got to be sore. He's got that big, huge brace on it, which really helps stabilize the knee, but it also causes a lot of mobility issues because you don't have the function of that whole entire leg that you normally do without a brace on and without coming off surgery like he has.
Bogdanovich is done. How does that hurt the Knicks?
I think it makes a big difference. The Knicks went out and got him right around the trade deadline, and they wanted to secure that bench and get some shooting for this team off the bench and also in key moments. He's a veteran that's played in a lot of playoff games. He's a 20-point-per-game scorer perennially every single year. He's made some big shots for this team in this series. I think it's a big loss. It really is. It was an unfortunate play. It wasn't a dirty play by any means. It's just a play that happens sometimes in football when you get rolled up on your ankle, or in basketball when there's a loose ball and a guy tries to dive and sell out and get it. I feel for Bogey. He's a great guy, great veteran, and the Knicks are going to miss him. But they've had guys hurt all season long, as you guys know, and everyone's been ready to step up and fill that void. So we'll see who gets the call. We'll see who steps in, and hopefully whoever does plays like Bogey was capable of playing.
Try to convince me, Wally, that the Sixers don't come in and just phone it in today, because it's very unlikely that they're going to win 3 straight against the Knicks. They were very unhappy with their home crowd, so you can imagine how unhappy they're going to be at the Garden tonight. What will stop them from just packing it in?
We'll see. I've been in that situation before. When you have a lot of pride in your locker room, when you think about it, too, and logically, it doesn't take much to get back into this series. All you have to do is win this one game at MSG, and you've shown the ability to, because the first 2 games, they were pretty much coin flips, and they gave a game away in Game 2 with a 5-point lead under 30 seconds. So their mindset in their locker room is going to be, let's just play one of our best 48 minutes of our season, get this win at the Garden. Then we're coming back to our house. Obviously, we weren't happy with the way the Knicks crowd took over half of the building. But at the same time, we're a good home team. You win that game, you just take one game at a time, and then you flip the coin in Game 7. It's on the road, it's at MSG. So that's the mindset in that locker room. Nick Nurse is an NBA championship winning coach. That roster is loaded. I mean, you look at who they have on that roster, top to bottom. It's loaded, and it seems like Joel Embiid, although he's hampered, he's not as bad as he could have been. And as a result, with him on that floor and Maxey on that floor, Sixers are going to be a tough team to beat, I think, tonight.
Now, is that something that has to get said in the room, or just based on how they played all year, does it go unsaid?
It depends. You might have a veteran that gets up and says, hey, guys, I love what Joel Embiid said after Game 2. He said, we're winning this series. I think that was the right message to send to his guys in the locker room. You can't have any doubt creep into your mind especially after they gave away that game too in the last 30 seconds. So that's a veteran locker room. They have some winners in that locker room, and I think someone's saying the right thing. That coach is always going to say the right thing. And when you look at it simply, you take one game at a time and get this one on the road, then you're in the driver's seat at home, and then you flip a coin game 7. I'm sure that's what's being said in the locker room.
Wally Zerbiak, Alan Hahn, and Bill Pito will be on the pregame tonight for Game 5, MSG Network. Their coverage starts at 6:30. Wally joins us now here on the Michael Kay Show. There was a poll of NBA players, Wally, that the coach they would least like to play for is Tom Thibodeau. And then it just seems like the Knicks players love playing for this guy. Now, are those other players wrong, or did they just find the right guys that would fit the style that Tibbs likes?
I just know I would love to play for Tom Thibodeau as a player. Being around the team a little bit, calling some games, being on the road, it is pure professionalism, the way he coaches and runs that locker room and runs this organization as the coach. He is an outstanding coach. His record speaks for his excellence and his greatness. And these players love playing for him. Josh Hart came to bat for him. He said those guys that voted him least likely to want to play for him, he said those guys are all must be soft. And it's because Tom Thibodeau, he knows how to win. He knows how to demand excellence out of his team. He also, what I love about him and getting to know how he's coaching, he's done such a great job with the Knicks, is he operates team first. He does not put any individual ahead of the team. And you also have a superstar in Jalen Brunson that has the same type of attitude. And that's how he handles his business. As great as he is, he's all about the team first. So that makes Tom Thibodeau's job a lot easier. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to win if you were playing in the NBA, because if you play for Tom Thibodeau, you're going to win. So whoever said they don't want to play for him, they kind of don't want to prioritize winning, because that coach helps you win basketball games.
No, Brunson was kind of handled during the season series and didn't put up the same kind of numbers against Philly that he did against everybody else, but then that all changed in the last game. Did he crack the code, or is it still going to be kind of difficult for him to get his against this Philadelphia defense?
I think in the first 2 games, I noticed Philadelphia was paying a little bit more attention to him, kind of clogging up the lane a little bit, not allowing him to operate and taking him away out of what he, really, likes to do. And they were daring other people to beat him, and other people were. Josh Hart's making shots. Dante had the good game, too. There were Bogdanovich had a bunch of shots at home in those first 2 games. But then I noticed in Philadelphia, I think they played a little bit more straight up. And off those screen and rolls, there wasn't as much shrinking into the lane, so there was a little more space for him to operate. And when he has space to operate, I know he got 34 shots up last game. If they play him the same way tonight, he should try to get 40 shots up, because he's unstoppable if you guard him one-on-one and you don't throw 2 defenders at him to try to get the ball out of his hands. He's just come so far in his career. He's become one of those superstars that if you play him one-on-one, he's going to hit you for 40 or 50. And then if you double him, he's going to trust his teammates, get them the rock, and they're going to have open shots all night long. So I think Philly's going to go back to what they did in game 1 and 2 and try to make all the other Knicks beat them and not allow Jalen to go for big numbers.
Wally, Don and I were talking about this at the beginning of the show, that, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. They still have to, end it with Philly, but the road's kind of opening up for them. Milwaukee is hurt. Their 3 players are hurt. It looks like it could be Indiana, and Indiana's a good team, but it's not as tough as, I would say, a fully loaded Milwaukee team. And then Boston loses Kristaps Porzingis yesterday. I don't know for how long. Do you see this road, at least to the Eastern Conference Finals, opening up for the Knicks a little bit more than we would have thought earlier?
Well, that's why the huge debate, it's an interesting question. The huge debate at the end of the season is, do the Knicks really want the 2 seed? Because they're going to have to either play Miami or Philly. And I said, you want as good a seed as you can possibly get. You see the home court advantage that the Knicks have. The Garden is just an unbelievable home court advantage. So now they're guaranteed home court if they win the first round. And that's big. I mean, that's huge. And then you never know what's going to happen in NBA playoffs. You see guys going down with injuries all the time. So you can only worry about what you can control. And the Knicks sprinted to the finish, got to the 2 seed. Now they're playing a banged-up Joel Embiid. I said, listen, you got to play the Sixers. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they have a great roster. They have the former MVP, but he's not 100%. I think you can beat that team because he's not 100%. Hopefully, we'll see if the Knicks take care of business tonight. You know, they should. They're in the driver's seat, but you never know. And then you're looking at a Bucks team that they're banged up too, you know, and, you know, the Pacers are tough. Like, the Pacers can score. They made 23 threes, a franchise record on the Knicks in the regular season. I called that game in Indianapolis, and that team gets up and down the floor and has shooters all over the place. So that's going to be a very intriguing matchup, but the home court is huge for the Knicks to have that home court advantage. And then the KP injury, he was the Knicks' Achilles heel. They could not figure out how to guard him from that three-point line. He really hurt the Knicks all season in the regular season. That was a tough matchup for the Knicks to guard. So depending on his status, that's a huge break if the Knicks happen to get to that Eastern Conference Finals and if Boston happens to get to that Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, great stuff. I mean, I'm so looking forward to the game. I'll be watching it during commercials during the Yankee game, but have a great time in the post game and the pregame and enjoy the game as well, Wally. We appreciate you coming on.
Anytime, boys. Great to talk to you.
All right, that's Wally Zerbiak. He'll be with Bill Pito and our guy Alan Hahn on MSG starting at 6:30.
Wow, I've never been called a bucket list before. That was humbling.
Even Nancy doesn't put you on her bucket list.
No. But listen, I only did one game with Wally. It was the only game that the Knicks lost that I did. But he's so professional. He's so into it. And I'm just kind of taken aback that, you know, that was back in, Michael, I was back in like November, early December, and that he remembered it and called it a bucket list. That's
so, wow. Wait, are you saying that you prefer doing a game with Wally than with Monica? Is that what you're saying?
No. When did I say? I said it was
I don't
great.
know.
I was great working with everyone. Listen.
I want things to be clear. That's all.
But I will say this. I never heard Monica say that I was any kind of bucket list, or I didn't hear that from Alan. But Alan was really gracious as well. I enjoyed working with everybody.
You're going to get a ring. I know it. 2 rings. You get a Ranger and a Knick ring.
Can you imagine? I don't think that's going to happen. Not that I don't think they can win the championship. I might get some consideration from the Rangers. I don't think the Knicks.
Why not? How many games did you do? 8?
7. There were 6 and
7. So almost a tenth of their games.
You can make the case, Michael, that I might have been the reason they got the 2 seed. But I don't deserve a ring.
So they were 6-1 with you at the mic.
6-1.
I think that's a ring. Just me. I'm not making the decision.
Well, that would be something, Michael, because you have rings. I don't have any rings. Peter doesn't have any rings.
Well, Peter
so I'd like to catch up.
Peter has 2 wedding rings.
So you think that he's not here? That it makes it okay?
Yeah, I would have said the same thing if he was here.
That is true. I don't think him being here would have stopped you from saying
in fact, it would have incentivized me.
You would have said it with a little bit more joie de vivre or whatever. Excuse me?
Hey, you know, Don, I don't know if you know this. The hardest thing about getting into shape is taking that first step.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at Square.com today. Switch to Square and take charge of your business and your time. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale, every way you want, in every way they want to. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Switch to taking control and taking more free time, whatever that means to you. Make the switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started. See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
Tired of pointless meetings?
So in this meeting, we're going to plan the next meeting to schedule other meetings.
There is nothing more pointless than unproductive meetings.
What about watching grass grow?
Nope.
What about pushing the crosswalk button repeatedly?
Nope.
What about bringing sand to the beach?
Nope.
Thanks to ClickUp, now all of our communication and work is in one place. It allows our team to collaborate remotely and finish projects faster.
ClickUp, all your work in one place.
Trying on glasses using Warby Parker's virtual try-on is so lifelike, so realistic, that you might not even be able to tell what's real from what's virtual. Yep, it's that good. Virtually try on hundreds of styles in the Warby Parker app.
Don't work for your money, let it work for you.
What money?
You're behind the student debt. Your budget is basic.
That was last call.
You're going to be lost, left behind. You buy low.
Payroll's late.
I've got 16 money apps.
I got a budgeting dashboard. Managers don't avoid it.
Try this app. It's Albert. It's got banking, savings, investing, and budgeting all in one place. It's simple.
Simple.
Pepper wing from Popeyes. Crispy, saucy, available. Popeyes finally has wings in 6 flavors.
I'm former Major League pitcher Andy Pettit. I teamed up with Tunnel to Towers after seeing their life-changing work with military and first responder families. Now we're expanding our mission to help veterans struggling with homelessness. We want to help them rebuild their lives not only by giving them a home, but by providing the services they need. Please join me in donating at t2t.org.
Is your shower trying to tell you something? Is getting in and out of the bathtub becoming a safety concern? Are you worried about the cost of a bathroom remodel that could go on for weeks and weeks? Well, now you can have a gorgeous new bath or shower that's safer at a price you can afford with a one-day jacuzzi bath remodel.
It was done the same day. We did not have to wait. It is amazing.
I would give this whole experience an A+. I definitely wish I would have called sooner.
From soft close shower doors and adjustable shower heads to features like grab bars and custom seats that combine safety and style, it's never been easier. Get your free design consultation, schedule your one-day installation, and start loving your new bath or shower right away.
Only weeks left to get waived installation and no interest and no payments for up to 1 year. Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-993-0245. That's 800-993-0245. Call now.
Half of young adults are at risk of hearing damage from loud sounds. So why is this happening? We know not to bake in the sun for hours. We buckle up to save lives. And we know that smoking kills. We take common sense steps for our health every day. Let's make hearing part of it. Love your ears. Learn more at hearinghealthfoundation.org. Keep listening.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo. Gracias. Thank you. What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
And also my choice of no waffles.
Listen, I'll take a pancake over a waffle.
Any
given
day.
a choice. But I do enjoy a waffle every now and then.
Too hard to cut into
Well, what kind of waffles are you having? It's basically the same batter as a pancake.
Yeah,
it's
but
just
those
molded
ridges
different.
make it a very difficult navigation.
I think the ridges hold in the butter. They hold in the syrup. It's really it's
I'd
an
like
odd
to know.
take about
I'd
the
like
syrup.
to talk to the person who has a choice between a fluffy pancake or a difficult ridge-filled waffle and would choose the waffle. I want to know. You can contact us on social media. You can call in, because anybody that would choose a waffle over a pancake, I don't get it.
Now,
It's
on
the
the
International House of Pancakes. It's not the International House of Waffles. Now, I know it's the Waffle House,
Yeah,
but it
see?
should be the Pancake House.
Well, then the sloppy waffle is what started this conversation in Newington, Connecticut, and Yes is showing the picture. I had my meal coming back with the Rangers because I hadn't had breakfast. They had chicken and waffles. That was delightful.
On the plane.
Yeah.
Now, was it boneless chicken?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Did you have syrup?
Oh yeah. Put it on both. Put it on the
put
chicken
syrup
too.
on chicken?
Oh yeah. It's good.
Yeah, might want to check those arteries soon.
What do you mean? First of all, it was an appetizer. Seriously. So it wasn't a big portion. I'm sure the Yankees feed you well.
Did Sam have some too?
Sam, listen, I don't want to get... People don't need to know what Sam ate. He did not have the chicken and waffles, though. Looked like
He's
he
a
had
Hall of
some
Famer.
scrambled
People
eggs.
want to know what he ate.
I sent you the picture, right?
Yeah, I did. You both look very happy together.
It was kind of sad. It was a bittersweet moment. Rangers advanced
because that's his last game on the TV.
But we say goodbye to the local television. Now he will do some radio. He becomes Kenny's fill-in from here on out. So he will probably get some games on the radio. But you know, Joe Mick is done, and all the people that work so hard on the local broadcast. You go through it too. During baseball, Michael.
That's the only bad thing about doing TV.
Yeah, but in the NBA and the NHL, you at least get that first round.
Yeah, we don't even get that.
So we had a little bit of a get together after the game on Sunday, and you know you travel with these guys all year, and they do all the games, and
Sam get loaded?
It kind of stinks. No, Sam.
I mean, as a get together, big celebration. Probably threw some.
I don't even know he. Oh, this is none of your business. But I could tell you that he did not. No, he's a very responsible person.
Well, he wasn't driving. He could have gotten loaded.
No, but that's a tale out of school. But I can tell you, no, he's salt of the earth. Sam and Joe are absolutely terrific human beings, and nobody's going to get loaded in public. That's not who Sam's about. Sam is called class, and Sam, almost to an annoyance, huge Yankee fan.
I know he is.
I mean, like. I had to say, Sam, listen, I'm just not interested.
You shut down Sam?
Well, I'm just, no, because I think because I do the show with you, he must think that, like, I'm a Yankee guy, too, or that
So you told him, Sam, I'm not interested?
No, of course not. Of course not. But it's like, yeah, he likes to break it down.
You give him my number. We could break it down together.
But I get enough of that on this show. I don't need to do it. But no, listen, Sam is, and he's been a big help to my career, and he's tremendous. And I took a picture with him. I'll tweet it out. I don't think I tweeted it out.
Yes, it's showing it right now. No. Yes,
did I tweet
Yes, has it.
Yes,
know. Just put it on.
Oh, that's an old picture.
Oh,
but
because I think in the new picture, Sam's on the right of the picture. On the old picture, he's on the left.
Yeah, I think we got switched around because we sit together on the plane. I'll tweet it out.
Why don't you do that?
It's going to be very similar to that one. But
yeah, you both haven't changed much.
Well, I dropped a few lbs.
Well, you were never heavy. I mean,
Thank
other
you.
than the Repug days.
Well, the Repug days when nobody took me aside.
I did. Anyway, easily most anticipated sporting event of the year, the pickleball showdown between Team DiPietro and Rothenberg and Team Anita Marks and Amani Toomer. It's Monday. It's not Monday. It's Sunday, May 5th.
Sunday.
At Pickleball America in Stamford, Connecticut. Sunday, May 5th. Pre-game coverage kicks off on ESPN New York at 9 a.m. with a live broadcast hosted by Anita Marks as she sets the stage. I also believe it's Anita's birthday today.
Is that true?
Happy birthday, Anita.
Happy birthday. I'm gonna send her a nice text.
Look at you. Then shortly after the show, the paddles come out for the Pickleball Showdown for the ages. Be there on May 5th to witness the showcase event at Pickleball America in Stamford, Connecticut. Hey, I talk for a living, and whether I'm in the studio or in the back.
At Maurice's, the jeans you need now. The versatile straight leg. The statement-making wide leg. The perfect retro flare. The trend-right cargo. The iconic boot cut. We're also your curvy fit destination. Visit the #1 feel-good jean shop now.
Let's all get better.
Take a chance.
If you want to execute and perform at a high level, it's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent.
I want to teach you about seeing things, hearing things, smelling things.
You can find a laugh, you'll find ease. Laugh at everything.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
Hey. Rental?
Yep.
You? Yeah. You know your shoe's untied.
No! Don't let a boxy suit ruin your night. Read from theblecktux.com.
There's an easier way. With Thumbtack. Download the app today and care for your home from top to bottom.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" She plays with me. She helps you feel better. Bugs and insects are healthy for you. Amelia took us to the beach. She teaches me some gymnastics. We like color. We draw flowers, and then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
The 3 for Me only at Chili's still serves up bottomless chips and salsa in the drink, but now it's available with the all-new Big Smasher Burger with twice the beef of a Big Mac. Maybe they should change that name. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
It's one fantastic ride. The turbocharged, tech-inspired Kia Forte.
Best 2 out of 3?
Lease the new 2024 Forte LXS for $189 a month.
Yes, welcome back to the show. Knicks and the Sixers tonight, Game 5. The Knicks can end it, take a deep breath, and get ready for either the Pacers or the Bucks. Now, the big question is, do the Sixers have the incentive to start what would be an arduous task of winning 3 in a row? Now, 3 in a row doesn't seem like it's that arduous, but when it's against one team and they have the time to make adjustments and they know you so well that they're playing all these games against you and only against you, and their time is put into solely slowing you down, are they ready for this fight? Or will they let what should be a raucous Madison Square Garden just completely put them back on their heels. My guess, Don, is that the Sixers come out and they play a hell of a game tonight. I do not think that they're going to go down quietly. I don't. I could see if they do. I could almost understand it. It's not like I'll co-sign on it. I could almost understand it because it's a daunting task. But I think every one of the 4 games, they've had a legitimate chance to win, and I think they'll play a very tough game today. They will not give up.
The only way that they can make this happen is if they treat it just one game at a time. Like it's too daunting a task. The same thing with the Islanders tonight, too. You can't look at it, we've got to win 3 straight games, or in the Islanders' case, it would be 4 straight games to advance. It's just got to be, how do we win tonight? Because it is too much of a thought. Like, wrap your mind around after you lost 3 of the first 4 that you're going to turn around and win the next 3. But can you win tonight? Can you be engaged tonight to just survive and advance? That's the way they got to look at it. But if they start thinking about how daunting a task it is and let the crowd get in their head, then I think they're going to be cooked. I think you're going to find out in the first 5 minutes of the game. Because the one thing we've seen from the Sixers is they get off to good starts. So if they don't get off to a good start here, Michael, then I can see them just say that we're done. Well, we can't do it. So we'll find out exactly how engaged they are, how focused. But because if they're cooked, Michael, I think you'll see it right away. That crowd's going to get on them. Knicks get off to a nice lead. It could be lights out and just be cruise control the rest of the way. If they come out hard, they play well, they can kind of feed off that and then just try to survive in advance. So I think we'll find out early in that first quarter what Sixer team is showing up. And if the best Sixer team shows up, Michael, then I think we can have ourselves a very interesting night of basketball.
Now, the Islanders are in the same situation as the Sixers because they're playing Game 5 on the road. If they can win this game tonight, Don, then all of a sudden you could start to dream again because Game 6 will be on the island and then Game 7 would be on the road. Sixers, same thing. If they win tonight, Game 6 then would be at Philly. Game 7 would be at Madison Square Garden. We've talked a lot about the Knicks and how they could end this tonight. While the Islanders don't want it to end tonight, do they have a chance? Now, that's a dumb question. Of course they have a chance. What's the likelihood of them beating Carolina tonight?
Well, the likelihood is exceptionally slim. It's only happened 4 times ever. And this Carolina's team is just, I think, too good. But can they win tonight? Well, they won the last game. They won in overtime, so they got a little momentum. Brett Pesci's out, as he was in the previous game, so maybe that's going to help. And then you just get back to UBS and you just try it again, survive in advance, one game at a time. But I just can't imagine this Carolina team that's much better than the Islanders. Even though the games have been competitive, I think the Hurricanes have been the better team. Even in the game that they lost, Michael, they did score to force overtime, then eventually losing in that double overtime game. So I don't. The likelihood is very, very slim. But do what the Sixers trying. But is it crazy to think they can win tonight? No, it's not crazy to win one game and then you deal with Game 6 if you're able to get it. But you changed the goaltender. Did that change the vibe at all? We'll see. They obviously the Sorokin thing was a disaster, but Dobson thinks it's one game at a time. They played pretty well. That's the only way you can look at it, Michael. But to think that the Carolina is going to go from being as dominant as they were in the series to losing 4 straight games without something significant happening, like a major injury or something unforeseen, difficult to wrap my mind around. That's why you can't look at it that way. Just find a way to win a 60-minute game tonight and see what happens.
Now, I know it'd be tough for Ranger fans, but they should be rooting for the Islanders tonight. You want the Hurricanes to extend themselves. And you want and if the Islanders pull off this unlikely feat, you want them to be exhausted after a 7-game set. So the more games the Islanders could win, even if the Hurricanes end up winning the series, the better it is for the Rangers. So Ranger fans, I know you hate the Islanders, but you have to root for them tonight.
And you don't want to think of it this way, but it creeps into your head, Michael, because the same thing we were talking about with the Celtics. The more games you play, the more of an opportunity something can happen. Right? You look at what happened in Nemestikov for the Winnipeg Jets. I don't know if you saw it. It took a shot to the head. Really just he was maybe 7 feet away from Schmidt, who took the shot. And, God, it was really an awful, ugly-looking injury. And I don't know what his situation is moving forward. But he broke his jaw. Doesn't mean he's not going to play, but maybe something. The more games you play, the more opportunity for somebody to break somebody to get injured, something to happen, right? So never mind the fact that you can also exhaust a team that now they've got to worry about beating up on the Islanders instead of thinking about how to prepare for the Rangers. So Rangers sit back, they get to watch these games. You don't want to go too long, Michael, because it seems like they'll start Sunday, but I guess that depends on how long the Carolina series goes. You don't want to be off too long, but a nice week off would be good for this Rangers team. See the Islanders keep that series alive. That has to be an advantage to the New York Rangers moving forward.
All right, so two big games in the playoffs for New York fans tonight. You have the Yankees against the Orioles, a battle for first place with the win yesterday, 2-0. Orioles move ahead of the Yankees by percentage points. They're essentially tied, but it's going to be a close race all season, and the Orioles are really good. And then the Mets lost a heartbreaker to the Cubs, where Severino had no-hit stuff and was of a pitch count that would lead you to believe that they would have kept him in for all 9 innings, but then just a looper over the head of Lindor by Dansby Swanson. That was the first hit. Then a run scored when Wendell made a bad choice, trying to get a double play rather than come home to get the out at home plate. And then Diaz gave up a couple of runs in the 9th inning, a long home run he served up to Morel. So the Mets lose that one 3-1, but they play the Cubs tonight again. The Yankees play the Orioles again. So we'll keep a close eye on everything going on, and we'll talk about it even more tomorrow. But I do want to do one thing. Today, since Peter is off,
okay,
it's going to be a very special Don show at 6. The kind that he dreams about and the kind that you dream about. Now, it's still under the umbrella of TMKS, but it's not ENN today. And it's not on Yes, because the Yes pregame show is at 6. This is a specialized, scrutinized, homogenized Don show, leading you right into the Nick pregame show. It's going to be beautiful. It's everything you dream about in a specialized, homogenized, Simonized Don show. You excited, Don?
Of course. I'm excited because, and listen, I love ENN, but we felt like, especially leading right into Dan Gross's pregame at 6:30, that we got to start taking your calls on how you feel about this team. A lot of people on their way to the Garden. Maybe there'll be people in the Garden because they do pump in the end of the K show at the Garden leading into Knicks and Ranger games.
I didn't know that. Do they really?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Wow.
So so I think the people in the building, this is going to be a special night, and it deserves a special type of broadcast because it's not that often. Think about it, Michael. The last time, Anthony, what was the stat you threw out during ENN yesterday? Like the last time the Knicks closed out a series at home?
It was in 99.
It was in 99.
Wow.
Think about that. Michael, there are listeners right now hearing me say that weren't alive in 99. The last time the Knicks won a series at home. And they've got a chance to do it tonight in front of some people that weren't alive the last time that it happened or weren't old enough to remember that it happened. I mean, it's 25 years ago. So it's going to be a special night here tonight.
Now,
so it deserves a special broadcast.
With the Knicks so hot and Brunson playing so brilliantly, he's going to be in the top 5 in the MVP. It has started a great talk show debate. Who is the biggest star in New York sports? And I know, I've got the shirt to prove it, that I'm Yankee boy. I get it. I still believe, Don, that Judge is bigger than Brunson. Not size-wise. I think he's a bigger star than Brunson.
It's a fruitless conversation because I don't know if we're asking the question properly. But
let's
you're
rejigger
right.
it.
Well, no, but I'm just saying is that the Yankees are the most popular team in this market. And Judge is the best player on the most popular team. And he's a beast, and he broke the American League record for home runs not too long ago. So he probably has a little bit more star power. I don't know how else you rephrase it, Michael, because, I mean, is Brunson a better basketball player than Judge is a baseball player? That's probably unfair, too. Because Brunson, I think, is having a tremendous season and probably may end up having a better 23-24 than Judge has had. But does that make him a better player? I don't know.
How about more popular? Forget about just more popular.
Well, but wouldn't it be Judge just because he's a Yankee? Like if Judge was a Met, it'd be Brunson, right?
I don't know. Judge is a big star. I mean, like literally big. He's even bigger than a basketball player that we're talking about. I just think that there are more eyeballs drawn to them. I mean, the Yankees are a brand unto itself. I get it.
Yeah.
I just think, like, if you ask Jimmy Fallon or Stephen Colbert, both based in New York, who do you want as a guest? I think they'd probably go Judge, don't you think?
Yeah. But I don't know if today that'd be the answer. Like tomorrow, if they had a show tomorrow and Brunson goes for 50 and the Knicks win, you would want Brunson just because you know how New York is, Michael. In the moment, right now, I don't think there's anybody hotter than Brunson. Like in this particular moment, and then you might even put like Artemi Panarin ahead of Judge just because it's April baseball compared to playoff hockey and basketball. The overall broader question is probably going to end up being Judge. Like Panarin, how is Panarin supposed to win it? He's a Ranger. It's hockey. It's the fourth sport. He's a Russian. Like, there's a lot of things that work against Artemi, although I think he's very witty. We had a nice conversation with him on Saturday. But I think Panarin is better at hockey this year than Brunson was in basketball. I think Panarin's had a very underrated season. 120 points, 49 goals. He should have got way more consideration for the MVP in the regular season for the Hart Trophy than he'll get with Kucherov and McKinnon and McDavid, because everybody's so captivated by the points that those guys had over Panarin. But Panarin was as important to the Rangers I think anybody was important to anybody in the National Hockey League. But the answer would be Judge, but don't you feel like the answer would be Judge because he's a Yankee?
I'm not sure. All right, who's a better player in their sport? And then you'd almost have to add Juan Soto in there, too. Is it Panarin? Is it Aaron Rodgers? Is it Judge? Is it Soto?
Oh, wow. Well, Aaron Rodgers at this stage of his career, I don't think would be in the conversation.
He's still pretty darn good when healthy.
But overall, his career,
he's had the
probably
greatest
better
career.
than all of them.
He's had a greater career, you're right.
He's one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen. But in the moment, I don't think, as much as Jet fans want to see it, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to go out and throw 45 touchdown passes this year. He's going to be 41 years old. So that's kind of unfair. But it's a fun question to have, and it shows you kind of the embarrassment of riches we have here in New York. Because we've got tons of talented players. I mean, Zibanejad is Igor Shesterkin with the Rangers. You take a look at the player that Pete Alonso is. He's not nobody. He might not be Aaron Judge, but he's a heck of a player, Michael, an outstanding player.
Yeah, he'd be in the discussion.
200 home runs in his career. He's certainly in the discussion for sure. So we've been kind of fortunate, but I feel like it becomes a popularity contest, and it's really difficult to beat Judge because he's a heck of a player. But to be on the Yankees and how high profile he is, and I'll tell you what. I think Judge is way more appreciated around Major League Baseball than Brunson is in basketball. I think you're around baseball. Is anybody that Judge doesn't fly under the radar the way Brunson does?
He's revered by other players too.
But I think Brunson probably is too. But I don't think they're doing a baseball talk show in Los Angeles talking about Judge, ignoring Judge. But Brunson, for whatever reason, was ignored for most of the year, despite how well he was playing.
All right, let's take some phone calls. Let's take the pulse. Let's go to David and Linden. David, start off the 5 o'clock hour.
What's going on, Casey? What's going on, Don?
We can hardly hear you, man. Are you on speaker?
No, I'm not on speaker. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I think I'm
a little bit
bad
better.
Area. I apologize.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Go for it.
Barely. Go.
Awesome. I apologize.
That's all right.
I hope the Knicks could knock it out tonight, but I got a baseball point that I want to say. I really wasn't into baseball too much, but my team was a mess. But I wanted to get your opinion on the career of a gentleman that's not playing anymore. They used to play on the Montreal Expos, Jose Rizzo.
What, Don, what did he say?
No, I think thank you for the call.
That's a ridiculous
I think we all collectively can say thank you for the call.
Wow.
Yeah, that was. We can't get that back.
JJ in Wake Forest.
Once known as formerly JJ North Carolina, I think I'd like to I'm a new man, and
so you changed your look. I love it.
I don't like to compliment Michael, but when he made the 2 rings comment about Peter, I almost fell on the floor. That was great.
Thank you.
I guess I'll hop in the conversation. I think right now, obviously, it's Brunson, but overall, I mean, you can't really get past Judge's monumental status, figuratively and literally. But I just wanted to give a quick take on the state of the NBA right now. I don't know if you guys saw these quotes by LeBron, how he's complaining about the officials, how the way he reacts. It looks like he's just kind of it's like he just demands this command that he should just be obeyed all the time. He's complaining. I mean, you talk about Embiid and the Sixers and Nurse complaining about every call. Oh my God, he's screaming at the refs every single time. And then after the game, you see these retirement comments. He's he wants to spend time with his family. He's saying it might be time to hang it up. So I mean, hot take. I think he might be done after this year, and it's sad to see him go out like this because he's still at the top of his game. But maybe he leaves L.A. Maybe he goes back to Cleveland to.
Well, one thing, JJ, he's not retiring. He's not retiring. He likes drama. I think what he's done is he's opting out of his contract, which is contractual right, and he's going to force the Lakers to pick Bronny. And the Lakers have said that they'd be more than amenable to picking Bronny. Use a second-round pick on him and pick him. That's all there is to it. But he's not retiring. He's just not. Now he could pick and choose where he wants to go. Does he finally want to come to New York? Does he want to go back to Miami? Does he want to go to Cleveland? Does he want to stay in L.A.? But he ain't retiring. You can't see that happening, right, Don?
No way. Listen, he loves it too much. I think that the complaining does get a little bit much by all these players sometimes, but he wants to play with his son. He wants to continue to play. I think he wants to get another championship. I could totally see him going back to Cleveland, especially if the Cavaliers advance here and maybe make a bit of a run, that he might want to go back and try to see if he can get that other ring with Cleveland, or at least just continue to play in his hometown. He's not going to retire. No way.
Let's go to Chris in Wantagh. Chris.
How's it going, Mike? Don, real quick. Michael, the question is the most popular athlete in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me just say, if it's just the most popular, period, it's Aaron Rodgers, no debate, but that's not in New York.
Well, why would that be the case? That's not true at all.
Well, again, that was if it was in New York. It's just open.
Even open. Judge is bigger than Rodgers.
I mean, I disagree. Pat McAfee more than explains that. That his career took off with him because everyone tuned in for that. But again, I'm more just open.
Doesn't mean people like him.
Yeah, that's fine, but that's called popularity. So the reason why it's Jalen Brunson, and it's not even close, there's not even not another athlete in this market that gets MVP chance in other arenas. There's not another team competing with the Knicks in this arena, in this state. Everyone in New York is supporting Jalen Brunson. Heck, the hate for Randall might be more than the love for Aaron Judge. Knicks run this city. Knicks are going to bring home a championship, and it's going to.
But Chris, can I stop you for 1 second? All right, you sound like you're a big Knicks fan. Do you realize that the Yankees, a regular season Yankee game and a regular season Knicks game, it's no competition in terms of the viewership?
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? The Yankee ratings are much higher than the Knicks ratings on MSG for a regular season game.
Michael, you just said he's the most popular guy. Aaron Judge does not get MVP chance. He does not have
Wait, Chris, he's getting MVP chance. He's getting MVP chance from Knicks fans on the road.
Everywhere.
But no, from Knicks fans. Chris, from Knicks fans.
Right.
You can keep saying everywhere. He's not like going to Cleveland, and Cavalier fans are not chanting MVP for Brunson.
And Yankee fans, Chris, tap out, buddy, tap out. You just you're
being a jerk, Chris. You want to have a discussion, and you're being a jerk. You're being an arrogant jerk.
Chris, you're missing out. For Chris, goodbye. I'm not even going to engage in it. You got to tap out, buddy, because you talk about popularity. Look up the definition of popularity. All right? You have to at least be liked to be popular. We're not talking about the most famous. We're not talking about the most recognizable. Popularity. All right? You don't think Yankee fans travel? Michael will tell you that. Ranger fans travel. New York travel. So the fact that they're chanting MVP in Portland does not win you your argument. You think it's your drop the mic moment. It's not. The fact that Michael says that Yankee regular season games beat Knick regular season games is the drop the mic moment. Now, in this particular case,
tonight
the Knicks are hotter. There's more attention on the Knicks because they're in the playoffs, but stop it. The Knicks do not own this town. The Yankees do.
Now, the only point that you made that made sense, that New York is united to root for the Knicks. New York's not united to root for the Yankees. There's Met fans that aren't rooting for the Yankees. There are very few Met fans.
Right.
I mean, that's true. But I would ask that gentleman, the year that Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs, people were on the road chanting MVP.
Yeah.
Yankee fans that traveled.
Yeah, his drop the mic moment, he dropped it on his foot. I mean, it just didn't work.
And he kept shouting. I mean, if you're going to be an arrogant ass, then don't even... We're here to have a conversation with you.
Now, the Knicks are right there because of the fact that they own basketball, because the Nets don't have nearly as big a fan base. There's a lot of Met fans. But we're talking about the New York Yankees, and there's no shame in that. But right now, the hotter team, the team that's going to garner more ratings, are the Knicks, because they're in the first round of the playoffs. They got a chance to close it out tonight. I'm sure the local numbers are going to be astronomical tonight. Same with the Rangers. And the fact that Aaron Rodgers is the most popular guy, how do you say that when there are more Giant fans than Jet fans? Now, is he recognizable?
Said in the country, he kept referring to Pat McAfee. Now, Pat McAfee, it was a very big segment for them. But Pat McAfee's he's more popular than Aaron Rodgers.
Well, wait a minute, Michael. Are people watching Aaron Rodgers on McAfee because they like him, or are they going to want to know what he's going to have to say and the polarizing comment that he is going to make?
It's a great point. He's not likable.
No, but because he said popular insinuate that you like the person. Now, if you're going to say infamous or famous or more recognizable, that's a different conversation. Aaron Rodgers in football is way more popular than baseball ever can dream of being, or any other sport in this country for that matter. But just because they tune into McAfee every Tuesday to see his interview doesn't mean they love the guy. They want to know what he's going to say next. Chris Montauk, please.
And he kept saying he gets chanted MVP. It's like they go to Portland and the Trailblazer fans are chanting MVP. No, they're not. It's Knicks fans that are in the crowd.
Michael, I was in Washington on Sunday night for a playoff game in Washington in a sea of red. And I was hearing Igor chants because Ranger fans travel.
Right.
Just
it
like
wasn't
Yankee
Capital fans
and Knicks fans. New York travels because there's so many of us. But yeah, that's your argument, that in Denver you're going to hear MVP chants, that makes him more popular than Aaron Judge?
And the arrogance that he felt like, as you said, he dropped the mic, and he dropped it on his toe.
Yeah, right? Oh, but that was fun.
I talk for a living.
Before.
And whether I'm in the studio or at the ballpark, I am sure that...
And the breakthrough odd-chain essential fatty acid in Fatty 15 works to keep you healthier longer. Exactly. Fatty 15 strengthens cellular membranes by 80%, which protects you from traditional signs of aging. The single pure ingredient in Fatty 15 delivers improved metabolic, liver, heart, and immune health you can feel. To learn about improving cellular health and long-term whole body wellness, see the benefits, and nerd out with us at fatty15.com.
Let's explore your future with Udemy. You can learn how to program and build websites, study design and create logos, improve your presentation skills, and sell your ideas. With Udemy, you can learn practical skills from thousands of online courses taught by real-world experts. Explore your future. Udemy.
At Away, we know what real travel looks like. So when we make luggage, we think about how you actually get from place to place. How travel brings pit stops and welcome detours. How you deserve an easier, more flexible way to pack. Because when it comes to luggage, how you actually travel matters. Away, designed by travelers for travelers.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Home Chef's family menu is making it easier than ever to sit down and eat together. Our fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and simple recipe steps are just a delivery away. Home Chef's family menu, solving family dinner one meal at a time. Get 18 free meals at homechef.com.
Rebag, the way luxury resale should be. A curated selection of investment pieces to treasure today or sell tomorrow. Instantly refresh your collection. Get 10% off your first purchase at Rebag.com with code REBAGTV. Rebag, the way luxury resale should be. Invest in pieces you've always wanted or trade them for a new find. Access limitless luxury. Get 10% off your first purchase at Rebag.com with code REBAGTV.
Put it on the rest. Put it on the rest. Put it on the rest.
Never read a line of poetry, I'm not a poet, but I sit up in the back of my buttons cause I'm fresh. Never read a book on how to rip it. I just know it, I don't need your explanation cause I'm better than the rest. Better than the rest. Better than the rest. Let me take you for a ride. I can make you feel alive.
Talk to your cardiologist today. Visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
You seek the key, but you must first learn the discipline. Lesson 1, energy is nothing without control. Lesson 2, there is power in silence. Lesson 3, unlock the energy within.
X gon' deliver to you. Don't let it go. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you. Come on.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Mel. Is now good for a quick catch-up on your plan?
Yes, now's great.
Refinance now or refinance later? Here are 10 tips to make your...
Needless to say, your money could be working so much harder.
Yes, I'm thinking more long-term.
Interest rates will remain at current levels.
Great. We'll make that change to your plan and adjust as needed.
This helps a lot.
Bye, Mel.
Bye.
For years, one company has battled to deliver business products the next day with no freight charges. Now, WB Mason, with their famous fleet of trucks and drivers, faces their biggest challenge, rescuing shipping and packaging buyers from expensive freight charges. That's right. Now boxes, stretch film, and packaging tape are delivered the very next day at amazingly low prices. So, who do you call for fast delivery and no expensive freight charges? Who but WB Mason?
As a mom, I want my kids' lives to be filled with joy and possibility. And I want that for every kid. That's why I support No Kid Hungry. They work in schools and communities to make sure every kid gets the healthy meals they need. Please join me in supporting No Kid Hungry for all kids.
Thank you.
Back here for the Michael K. Show. LeBron is gone from the playoffs, with the Nuggets dispatching the Lakers in 5 games. It's the second season in a row now that Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray have sent the Lake Show packing. Murray had bookend 12-point quarters in the first and fourth, including this game winner here to send Denver to the second round and the Lakers to the Lynx. Murray finished with 32. He was 13 of 28 from the field and 5 of 10 from the land of the three. He also dished out 7 assists. Now, we mentioned the Nuggets have beaten the Lakers. They've been their cleaners the last 2 years in the postseason. After winning the bubble title in 2020, Los Angeles also lost to the Suns in the first round in 2021. and they missed the playoffs completely in 2022. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 straight whiffs for the Lakers.
Well, the second annual DPHO and Rothenberg pregame party is coming up on Thursday, May 2nd. Come out to see the live broadcast starting at 6 a.m. from Publicans in Manhasset, just steps away from Manhasset Station on the LIRR, where after the show, the crew will take the train to Citi Field for the matinee game against the Cubs. Now, if you're headed to the game, look for the pregame party in Lot E, as in Edgar, along Roosevelt Avenue. That's near the 7 line. It's brought to you by Montauk Brewing Company. Celebrate the no-frills good life with Montauk Brewing Company, maker of New York's favorite craft beer, Wave Chaser IPA, a highly approachable brew that is packed with tropical hops and delivers endless flavor. Chase your wave. And by Zing Zang, America's favorite Bloody Mary brand. Now it's even easier to enjoy a Bloody Mary with their pre-mixed cocktails, available in convenient cans and party-sized bottles. Just open, pour, and enjoy. Please, Zing Zang responsibly. Michael and Don with you. Don will have a special Don show at 6 o'clock, lead you right into the Knicks pregame show. So we've got you covered, 1-800-919-3776. We go to Nestor on the West Side Highway. He's going to the Knicks game. Nestor, how pumped are you?
Yo, super pumped, Mike. What's up, Don? First-time caller.
Welcome aboard.
Man. Oh, man, it's such a great feeling to talk to you guys. Finally been listening to you guys for almost, 77 years now?
Wow,
you guys have been
it's been a long time. You're right.
Listen, I'm going to the game tonight with my son, man, and we're going to have a blast. From a popularity standpoint, I don't know why you guys take calls from this dude like Chris. If you walk into a restaurant and Aaron Judge is sitting there, I guarantee you Knicks fans are going to recognize him. Islander fans will recognize him. But if Brunson is sitting there, Yankee fans might not recognize him, right? So it's Aaron Judge, Brunson, Soto, and if Judge better watch out because I think Soto is going to be pulling up a popularity string on him here coming soon.
Well, he's got to stay here longer than 1 year, but I hear what you're saying. And, the interesting thing, I think Brunson's very recognizable, too. He has a distinctive look. Obviously, his hair is distinctive. So if he's in a restaurant, people are going to notice him. I think a lot of New Yorkers would know who he is. I think Aaron Judge is 6'7" in size. He towers over everybody in the restaurant, so he will be recognized. But let's not give, just because we think Brunson is not quite on the stature of Judge, let's not give short shrift to Brunson. He's immensely popular in the city. Immensely.
Yeah. And the Knicks are immensely popular, too. It's just that I think the Yankees are just because of their history, the history of winning. Now, that could obviously change, Michael, if the Yankees took a downturn and the Knicks started winning championships every year, because I think basketball is very, very popular. And in some segments of the area, it might be even more popular than baseball.
We have two notes,
The Yankees
Don.
are just a monolith.
Thank you. It's because of their announcer. Kristaps Porzingis, according to Woj, is expected to miss a minimum of several games with what they're calling a right soleus strain. Sources tell ESPN. Excuse me, a hiccup. So I told you that's an injury. That's a bear.
Well,
so a minimum of a couple of games, several games.
So he's likely out for the rest of this series, which can only be one more game because they're up 3-1, which would then, I would think, put him in question for round 2. And we'll see. But you're right. These are the things that happen. The more games you play, and this goes for the Knicks too, the more there's a chance that somebody might be able to get hurt. That's why you want to try to close it out tonight. Because every game you play, you lost Bogdanovich on Sunday afternoon. The more games you play, the more of a chance somebody's going to get hurt. So finish it off tonight if you can.
He has the same injury that Giannis has. And Giannis is not appearing, in these must-wins for the Bucks. Talking Yanks, on September 14th of 2022, they have a clip of Aaron Judge getting MVP chants at Fenway. So I would ask Chris, were those Red Sox fans chanting that? Or Yankee fans have to make the trip to Fenway? What do you think, Chris?
That's what Chris didn't get, is that New Yorkers travel. Michael's fortunate enough to answer the Yankee one. I'm fortunate enough to travel with the Rangers. Michael, any arena, anywhere. Maybe with the exception of, Vancouver, which is 3,000 miles away and in Canada, you're seeing minimum 800 to 1,000 Ranger fans in any building. because they travel well. They've got fans everywhere, but more importantly, they love to travel, go on trips, see their favorite team play. That's just the way that it is because there's just so many of them.
Now,
Yankee fans the same way.
VJ from Brooklyn tweets out, the Knicks are just as popular, if not more popular, than the Yankees, fellas. This is the same conversation as MLB being more popular than the NBA. It's not. Nationally, it's not. Although the World Series gets the same numbers as the NBA Finals. But, I mean, VJ, I've got the proof.
Yeah.
The Yankee ratings are higher than the Knicks ratings. They just are. Now, the Knicks will beat the Yankees tonight. They beat the Yankees on Sunday because these are playoff games. And if the Yankees were in a playoff series, they would beat the Knicks in a regular season. But head-to-head, season, these are numbers. You can't argue with numbers. This is not Aaron Rodgers saying, well, I just pulled this out of the air, and I think the Yankees are more popular.
Listen,
the Yankees get much better ratings on Yes than the Knicks get on MSG. Not a knock on the Knicks. The Yankees are more popular.
Yeah, and listen, this is coming from somebody that doesn't like the Yankees. All right? But I'm just telling you, living in this market, working in this market for as long as I have, it is just an absolute fact. I got this from Greek earlier today, that the Yankee game last night against the Orioles in April had a grand total of 295,000 people watching. Now, you think there's ever going to be a regular season game that the Knicks are going to play that's going to get over 300,000 people watching it? No, it's usually around 120, 125, something like that. Heck, there were times, Michael, where the Rangers outdrew the Knicks on TV during the regular season. But overall, the Knicks are way more popular, so television numbers can be a little bit skewed. But we're talking about the Yankees with the history and the winning. And it's baseball in this town. I agree. In this country, I believe the NBA is number 2. I think it goes football, then it's the NBA, then it's baseball, then it's hockey. That's what I think it is with the 4 major sports. But in New York, and that's not to mention 160,000 to watch the Mets last night. You know, I think the Mets actually sometimes get better numbers than the Knicks during the regular season. It's baseball in New York. It's Yankees in New York.
So, and if I could say this, again, I don't want to be hanging on the rim for the company that I love, but Yes is the most viewed regional sports network in the country. In the country. And that's not because of the Michael Kay Show or the Nets. Believe me, it's not. It's because of the Yankees. MSG's not the most viewed regional sports network in the country. So please, when you come with, if I'm giving you facts, accept them. I'm not giving you my opinion. These are facts.
Now, do I think tonight's game is going to outrate in New York what the Yankees did last night?
Of course it will.
Because it's a playoff game. And so will the Rangers when they play their first game against Carolina, because it's the playoffs. But on a day-in, day-out basis, you know, there are moments where other teams get it, but it's always going to be, for the foreseeable future, a Yankee town. The interesting thing is when you throw the Giants into the mix, but that's football and it's once a week, so the numbers aren't as relatable. But when you check the demographics, when you check the numbers, it's just that's just the answer. Sorry.
Did you see this story, Don? Jose Abreu of the Astros, 36 years old, and he's making $19.5 million this year and next. He's being optioned by the Astros to West Palm, their A-ball team.
Oh.
He hasn't been able to hit all year. He's being optioned to A-ball.
That's as inexpensive an A-ball player as we've ever seen. A-ball. Now, what's the logic behind that?
They're trying to, I guess, bring him down to absolutely no pressure and just redo his swing. I mean, the Blue Jays, like 25 years ago, did it with Roy Halladay, and it worked out. But Roy Halladay was still a young player. This is a 36-year-old man. I give him credit for accepting it because he didn't have to accept it.
Yeah,
so something, I guess, needs to be done.
Yeah, I guess. But, wow, that's humbling. I just thought maybe is there A-ball affiliate closer? Is there some kind of logistics to why A-ball and not AAA or AA?
I don't know. Let's go to Ernie in Astoria. Ernie.
Hello, how's it going, gentlemen?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I'm going over the 59th Street Bridge, so I'm sorry there's some bad static.
Go for it.
So this is how I determine if someone is popular or not. I asked my wife, So I called her. I said, who do you recognize, Bronson or Aaron Judge? She says, who the heck is Bronson?
But is she a fan of sports?
Right.
Wait, is she a fan of sports, Ernie?
No, she's not.
Okay.
She's not. So to me, that's what makes you popular. It's that you're able to cross over to non-sports fans. So if Aaron Judge was to go to the middle of the Upper East Side or to Ravenswood, everyone would recognize him.
Well,
I don't think the same thing is for Bronson.
Now, what team do you root for?
Oh, I'm horrible. I'm a Philly fan.
Okay, so that's good because it's not like you were watching Yankee games. Well, I mean, Judge just broke the record for American League home runs, so he's probably been out and he's been better in New York for a longer period of time. But I guess that's a pretty good gauge. I used to always
also
play that.
Brunson. You're giving her the wrong name. It's Charles Bronson, Jalen Brunson.
I used to have a game on my Saturday morning show when my grandmother was alive, so my grandmother doesn't know Jack. And I'd ask her, like, a famous player in sports, and the caller would have to guess whether my grandmother would know the person or not. And I think one of the only people she knew was Jeter.
Really?
Yeah. And she didn't like sports. She didn't know anything about sports. But some names resonate. Yeah, how many commercials are you in? Like, different, things to pop up. Judge doesn't do a ton, does he, Michael? I know he does.
He's doing more now.
Pepsi.
He's doing more now.
I haven't seen Brunson in anything. But it's difficult
I think
to gauge.
Judge just signed with Ralph Lauren, and he also signed with Prime, which is a very, very popular drink amongst kids.
Oh my God! That's all Marco talks about is he wants Prime. And
that's all I have to get for Charlie too.
But I won't get it for him. I don't want him drinking those types. It's 6? No, that's too young.
Couple of updates for the Knicks and the Sixers tonight. Tom Thibodeau said that Mitchell Robinson will warm up tonight. The Knicks will see where he is after he does so. And Sixers coach Nick Nurse on Embiid, no update yet. No update yet. He's suffering, obviously, from the after effects of the surgery on the knee, but also he's been having a migraine today, too.
And listen, I know he's not a very popular person in New York, Michael, but if he's got a migraine right now, I feel so bad for him. That is the worst. I've known people that have migraines, and it's completely debilitating. It's not for people like, oh, he's got a headache. It's beyond a headache. If it's a migraine, we're talking about nausea, dizziness. That's a tough world to be in, man.
Yeah, he wants to play. I mean, it's a must-win for them. So my guess is he'll be on the court. And it might be very difficult. It might be terrible, but my guess is he'll be on the court. Hey, if you're like me, you love to spend time at home.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions about your life, your career, and everything in between that we've uncovered. They're all centered on numbers. Some of the numbers might be familiar to you, but they all add up to tell your story. What do you want fans to think about when they see the number 23?
I wanted to be somebody different on the field, to be just known for baseball.
The Story of My Number, presented by the New York Lottery. New series premieres May 9th on Yes and the Yes app.
Growing up, I always wanted to do so many things.
I wanted to be a vet.
I wanted to be an actor.
When I was really little, I don't know why, but I wanted to be a pastor. When I was like a small child.
I wanted to be a celebrity by any means necessary.
This is Spike Drop Vegas Heist.
These players are playing for a lot of money today.
I'm only here for 2 feet. I don't really care about any other place.
Can't even comprehend what is going on, but I like it.
New season, new reasons to say yes.
This is star power. Wow.
Cole dials it up. What a home run for Soto. Aaron Judge crushes one.
Get all the Yankees action. The Yes app,
which penetrates deep to target the source of pain with non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medicine directly at the source. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
It feels like it is a statement series.
big names, big home runs.
This is the matchup you live for.
Diversity is in our nature. Diverse cultures, identities, skills, and knowledge. Diversity is in nature, too. Biodiversity. Plants, animals, and ecosystems. It connects us and sustains us. But nature's biodiversity is at risk now more than ever before. And our own future is at stake. So ask yourself, how can you contribute to protecting all life on our planet? Because the future is in our hands.
Hey, so I found a betting system that's really working great for me.
So did I. What's yours?
I set up an hour-a-week time limit on FanDuel. I can also set up wager limits, so I only bet what I can afford, and betting stays fun.
Right.
So what's your system?
What's that?
Your system. What's your system? What is that?
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours.
We all want to feel safe when traveling. That's why if you see something that feels suspicious, such as an abandoned bag or erratic behavior from a passenger, just call 911. You can call anonymously, and it's okay if it turns out to be nothing. Work together with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to keep our transportation facilities safe. Visit PANYNJ.gov to learn more.
Everywhere but the seat. The seat is leather.
Alan, we get it. You love your bike. We do too.
That's why we're America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
But do you have to wedge it into everything?
What? Don't do that.
This reminds me of my bike.
The wolf was about the size of my new motorcycle. Have you seen it, by the way?
Happy birthday, Grandma!
Really? Look how the brushstrokes follow the line of the gas tank. Hey! Brought my +1. Jamie.
It's one fantastic ride. The turbocharged, tech-inspired Kia Forte.
Best 2 out of 3?
Lease the new 2024 Forte LXS for $189 a month.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo. Gracias. Thank you. What's wrong, mijo? Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Sometimes I dream about you falling through the sky. Can hardly believe my own
eyes. Disasters don't take a break for the holidays. With your help, neither does the Red Cross.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person.
Never, ever give out your Medicare number. Just hang up.
I check my Medicare statements monthly.
To report Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
today, 1-1. So we've been talking about the popularity of Brunson and the Knicks and the Yankees and Brunson and Judge. Okay, so Robert Randolph, I have mad respect for. He's a great musician, composer. He just tweeted at me and Don, and he said, you guys sound like old people talking about TV ratings. Young people don't watch TV. They consume Knicks game highlights through social platforms. Basketball and the Knicks numbers are way above. Well, my answer to Robert would be, and I say this with all due respect, since we're talking about social media, the Yankees have 3.8 million followers on X. The Knicks, 2.4. Right there. I mean, aren't young people on social media? That's right there. Same thing with Instagram. So, yeah, I know kids, I know my son consumes sports on social media. They watch highlights. But let me tell you something, Robert. The bills are paid by TV. The bills are paid by TV. Well, it's hard for teams to monetize social media. The bills are paid by TV.
I don't think it should be the only analytic television rating, so I take exception to the whole, you sound like old men. It's the New York Yankees. I mean, you're talking about drawing, 35, 40,000 people per game. It's the Yankees. It's the interlocking NY. There's just something about that.
He just showed them on X, 3.8 million to 2.4 million. Yeah, where are the young people, Robert?
Now, do I think that LeBron James may be more relevant in this country than Aaron Judge? Yeah, because I think basketball is probably more popular than baseball. But I said in this town, it's always going to be, for the foreseeable future, the Yankees. And we're not talking about nobody. We're talking about Aaron Judge, who hit more home runs than any other American League ball player, one of the best players in baseball.
Also
he's almost 7 feet tall. He wears number 99. He's very recognizable, and he's been in the market longer.
And if we want to talk about the most popular athlete in New York over the last 3 decades, I mean, it's a Yankee. It's Derek Jeter.
Yeah,
and we keep talking about Brunson's popularity. The NBA All-Star voting is a popularity contest. Kids vote for the NBA All-Star. Dame Lillard won. He beat out Jalen Brunson. That's Milwaukee against New York. So, I mean, we're all in the middle of it. We're falling in love with Brunson because he's had such an unbelievable season. But let's not overblow what's real.
Hey,
Dame Lillard beat him out for the All-Star.
And also, again, we're not saying that tonight is going to be any comparison. More of our eyeballs are on Brunson and his playoff game against the Sixers at the Garden than what Judge does in Baltimore. It's going to be more relevant. There's no question. We're just talking about the overall, everything being equal. It's a different world. But tonight, it's a Knick town. Tonight, it's Brunson's town. And I'm sure the numbers for the Knicks will dwarf the Yankees. But it also takes an elimination game in the playoffs compared to a baseball game in April. I got Jalen, so I do apologize if you're hearing some noises or whatever, but she's on my lap.
Jalen. Is she enjoying the show, Don?
Are you enjoying the show, Jalen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we need. See, young people like the show, Robert.
How old are you, Jalen?
6.
6. That's right in our wheelhouse.
Now,
either 6 or 85.
Now, who do you like better, Jalen Brunson or Aaron Judge?
Jalen Brunson.
Oh.
Well, because they have a similar first name.
It's a very scientific study we've done. Now, unfortunately, what we have to do here is say goodbye to Yes. Because it's a pregame show of the Yankees. But we're going to be on. Don's doing a very special Don show on 98.7 that will lead you into the Knick pregame show. Now, if you choose the Yankees, Yankees will follow us on Yes. So goodbye to Yes right now. And Don, let's set the...
That's a wrap on the show for today. Coming up next, our coverage of the Yankees and Orioles gets underway with the pregame show for all of us here on the Michael Kay Show. This is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. The Michael Kay Show on Yes is brought to you in part by Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer today.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
FanDuel Casino has your chance at the #1 feeling, winning, which ranks even higher than the 18th best feeling, saving a kid from a well. 59 years later. Find the #1 feeling winning on FanDuel Casino Reward Machine. Free to play every day with a chance at a $2,000 top prize.
Bring color to life with the very best paint. Only at Sherwin-Williams.
Sunshine on my shoulder makes me happy. If I had a day that I could give you, I'd give to you a day just like today.
Competing for gold, we have legendary Reese's Peanut Butter Cups versus newcomer Reese's Medals. Who will be the winner? I'm sorry, what are they competing in?
You could pick from hundreds of law firms for your mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer case. But would you be confident that you made the best choice? Whites & Luxembourg is the firm that has represented more asbestos disease clients than any other firm in the metropolitan area. With 30 years experience, they have New York's highest recorded asbestos verdicts of all time. The choice is clear, and the stakes could not be higher.
Whites & Luxembourg has our backs.
Call Whites & Luxembourg today.
Call 1-888-411-LAWS. That's 1-888-411-LAWS.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay and how fast you can get started.
HCM is a serious heart condition affecting as many as 1 in 200 people. Like me.
And me. It can impact how you feel and what you can do.
I still felt tired on my beta blocker. So I talked to my cardiologist.
About treatment advances in HCM that gave me new options.
It was a breakthrough for me.
That conversation was big for me.
Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Hello, I'm Dennis Quaid. For years, Tunnel to Towers has demonstrated a commitment to first responders and military families. They've paid off mortgages and built specially adapted smart homes. Now the foundation is expanding its mission to eradicate veteran homelessness. Please give our veterans a chance to reclaim their dignity by donating at T2T.org.
Your attention, please.